Welcome to the podcast Entrepreneur Share Secrets with Sandra Mossman. Today I have two guests of one company, Two Mamabees, Juliana and Samantha. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for having us, Sandra.
Thank you.
Yes, like you said, I'm Juliana and Samantha. We are co-founders of Two Mamabees. I'm the CEO. She is the COO. And Two Mamabees is a now 8-time award-winning manufacturing company. We specialize in playhouses, swing sets, and luxury. And we're domestically sourced, domestically manufactured, and our purpose is to empower families through purposeful play.
Perfect. How did you start it? Like, how many years in business you are?
So there's we call it I guess you could really refer to it. I don't think we've ever said this, but there's 2 phases to our business, right? So early on, and this was 2019, we originally started as an Etsy shop. And our original intention when starting the shop was just that Samantha and myself are both moms. Currently, we have 8 kids between the two of us. But at the time in 2019, we had 5. So Samantha's son, her 3rd child, was born with autism. And in that, I think there was just a period where it was overwhelming for her, and not to speak for her, but it was, it's just, she kind of lost herself in just the chaos of what's next, what are next steps in her life. And so her husband came to me and said, if Sam just makes $100 a week, something for herself that makes her feel like her again. And so just so happened the timing kind of aligned, because I had found these window boxes that I wanted to put on my house on Etsy, but the shipping cost more than the window box itself. So I said, hey, let's try to build them. And we did. So we built them just originally for our own homes. And then we threw them up on an Etsy shop and started an Etsy shop. So that was 2019. And from there, we included additional products. So we started with just the window boxes, then we built porch bed swings. And again, it was all just things we wanted for our own homes. So we didn't hold any inventory. We just took pictures of it at our houses. And we're like, if you want one, we'll build one for you too, type of thing. And Samantha had one of our competitors, Playhouses in her backyard, and she had gutted her backyard. It was gorgeous, and it really didn't fit aesthetically, the vibe. So we decided to paint it with no idea of how we would ship it, no idea of how we would even fulfill the order. We threw it up on our Etsy shop, and in 1 year we had almost 1,000 sales, and we were like, well, holy cow, this is something real. So that little backyard Etsy shop went from Samantha's backyard to my backyard, to 1 warehouse to 2 warehouses, to me quitting corporate America. And all in the back end, really getting personalized feedback. I think Etsy's really good about that, where the feedback that you get from your customers is so intimate. You have conversations. It's not just hey, I called and here's my order number. They give you, this is what I liked about it, this is what I didn't. So we now refer to that as our market research years, because we pretend like we were that smart, that we knew all this was going to happen. And then on the back end, we developed and designed our own line of playhouses, and those launched in October of 2021. So 2 phases, right? So our Etsy shop phase, 2019 to October of 2021, and then October of 2021 till now is us owning Two Mamabees, the brand, a full brand. And we are now sold in over 110 retail stores, including Target, Walmart, Wayfair, Saks Fifth Avenue, FAO Schwartz, Sam's Club, big box, yeah.
It's impressive, definitely. You mentioned about the window boxes. What's the window boxes?
So planter boxes, it might be a different phrase for it in your language, but we have them on all of our playhouses as well. So that was one of the upgrades that we always provided on our Etsy shop. And on our window boxes for Two Mamabees products, they are all made out of cedar wood, and they can plant real herbs and flowers. There's a lot of like touch points that I think Samantha and I really try to emphasize in our brand. And one is environmental consciousness and being able to really instill that in children at such a young age. So the way we do that is by making the window boxes actually accessible for you to plant real gardens in. So they hang outside the window, and you can put flowers, you can put herbs, little vegetable gardens. We've seen people do that. So cute.
Yeah, but you have them right now on your website?
We sell them on our Playhouses. No, they were sold on our Etsy shop. We will be launching them as standalone units, but they're for our Playhouses primarily. They're specific to the Playhouse. We niched down, if you will.
Why?
So we were
like you started with like what was like this point why you decided to go to Playhouses and like.
Well, I think it was really, and this again, I really emphasize this with anyone that comes and tries to talk to me. I always say, the market's going to tell you what the market likes. Yeah. You are never going to be able to tell the market what it should like. So, we get things like that. People always come up to us and they're like, why don't you do she sheds? Why don't you do chicken coops? And we're like, we're a luxury toy brand. That's just who we are. And that's where we're going to stay. And we feel comfortable in our zone. And I think I think it was wise of us to niche. I think we needed to niche so that we could really make a brand name for ourselves in a specific like part of the industry. Because we don't just want to be a one-off product. And we also didn't want to just be like a confusing place to purchase from. You know what I mean? Like we wanted to know, even with big box, with Target alone, I think we have like 4 different buyers. So there's already a lot of buyers that you're constantly communicating with, but at least they know if they want to go for luxury children's items and products, Two Mamabees for your girls.
Yeah, love it. What was your like first investment like in the Etsy? Like how much like you started with? Because was it a lot? Like, or how did we grow with this?
$250. Was it a piece, Sam, or all together? We just had to open the bank account.
I think it was all together. Honestly, it was like, yeah.
And the business has financed itself since.
Yeah, impressive.
Yeah, so we just had to like put some money in there so that they'd let us open a business account.
So it's very important to open the business account. Yes, you believe?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a few things that we've learned along the way. An S corp is always good, especially when you're when you have partners. So protects both of you in a better way than just an LLC. Sam could talk about the tax benefits, but that might be boring to
I think it's important, like maybe some tips what you learned like on your way about the like taxes and like what was important.
I think we're still learning.
Yeah, we are still learning. That is for sure. I think primarily you pull a dividends. It's just a different way that you pull money from a corporation. And so, so we're incorporated as an S corp. And if you plan on being larger than just your Etsy shop, originally, we were an LLC and we switched.
Yeah.
So how's the responsibilities are between you? Like who do what?
I do shipping.
Okay. You enjoy it.
I love it.
Okay.
I do shipping. I love shipping. I ship all of Two Mamabees stuff and it's great.
Yeah. Do you put some like personalized notes to the like shipping or
we have a label on the box that says if it comes damaged, please notify us so I can help you out.
Yeah. We have like a trifold. Yeah. We have a trifold that goes in it talking about our brand and things like that. We keep it personalized. We actually just had a concept that we're going to be rolling out where we're meeting with like industry professionals, think OT, speech and play therapist, and creating, I guess the only way to like phrase it is imagine you get an air fryer and in the instructions, a couple of recipes. So we want to roll out the same concept, but with play. So from industry professionals, so play therapists will say, here's your product. If it's like right back here, that's our Aviana gourmet play kitchen. Like here's different ways that you can interact with your child. Here's different ways to incorporate play. And here's what developmental skills your child's learning while doing it. So we haven't seen anybody else do it, but we're so excited about it. We think it's going to be incredible. So same concept, a recipe for play, if you will, and those will come like in our boxes. But yeah, we have, like if they want like a little happy birthday note and stuff, we don't see it often, but I guess we could do it.
Perfect. Yeah. So Samantha, she's responsible for shipping. What you're more like talking people, like what
she's really downplaying what she does. We both do it all. But I will say I focus more on the growth and development of the city, if you will. I'm like a go-getter, a workaholic. I don't really stop or sleep. So for me, I love all aspects of it. I love every part of it. I love the marketing. I mean, we have a marketing team now, but like I love being a part of the marketing team. Like I feel like it's like a big family. Everybody has so much input in everything that happens with even the day-to-day operation. So, I mean, we're entrepreneurs. We wear many, many hats, including motherhood. And that's especially right now, it feels like you're in the thick of motherhood in August and September. It's like overwhelming to be a mom, right? And then you think you get a break, but you don't, because then all of a sudden Halloween, Thanksgiving, and all the holidays come. And then you're like, wait, just kidding, round two. But yeah. No, yeah, we do a lot. I don't know if I would, what would you classify I'm the CEO, okay? Okay, just the buck stops here, baby.
Okay. So you mentioned you opened the Etsy in 2018. How was the COVID affected your business?
Sam could probably touch on this one, like financially, what happened to us. You want to take it?
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, I guess I'll tell you where I was going with it. So when COVID hit, it didn't affect us so much with our Etsy shop. It affected us with our Two Mamabees brand, because we had been working on since 2020. So it took us roughly a year. Our first run of Playhouses were sourced from overseas. So because they were sourced from overseas, we had to bring them in what they call them our 40-foot high queues. They're like giant shipping containers. So originally we were quoted, what, Sam, like 5,000? And what did we end up paying?
38,000 per container. And we got 2 at the time.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
We got 2 and then we shared a third because they have that option. But yeah, we paid.
It was a big hit. And it was our first run too. You have to think but we had no choice. Like the product was there, it was sitting there. The way we worked prior to that, when we had our Etsy shop, Sam and I purchased what are now our competitors' Playhouses. We would unbox them, hand paint them in 2 separate warehouses with our teams, hand paint them for 14 to 16 hours a day with no AC, and then rub Vaseline on them so that the paint didn't stick to the paper, rebox them and ship them out. And God bless our Etsy customers who never were like, they were like, oh, we love it so much. A little strange. It's like, imagine if I got that product now, Sam, like how we would feel. We'd be like, what is this slime? But yeah. So, there was a lot of learning and development along the way, but, there was no longevity to Samantha and I painting Playhouses, like hand painting them for 14 to 16 hours. We're working so much in our business that we had 0 time to work on our business. So we had to make that shift. Now, mind you, we brought this first run over, took a huge financial hit with COVID and the price of shipping. And we did everything you were supposed to do. Okay, so nobody can come and say that we didn't. We paid for all the quality control. We had a boots on the ground in China. We had someone that actually went out to our manufacturing facility. We shipped full-size samples to America. Like, we put the work in to do the due diligence, and there was nothing wrong with the product, but it wasn't the consistent quality, and it didn't tell the full story of what we wanted our brand to stand for. We obviously did all the testing, so everything was low VOC, it was non-toxic, lead-free, X, Y, and Z. The testing is all the same, but it wasn't authentic to who we are as mothers and consumers, right? Like, when you feel that way, Sam? I mean, I think as consumers ourselves, we are conscious of the products that we purchase for our kids. And here we are building a brand, and we sourced it from overseas. So year one, we went right back to the drawing board, and we brought all our manufacturing to America. And now we are manufactured by second generation Amish artisans, and they are not just incredible humans, but incredibly innovative, which is a strange word to refer to the Amish. But ironically enough, we just won Luxury Product of the Year by Innovation and Excellence magazine. And the way we encompassed that was saying, we kind of reverse engineered innovation. No, we didn't create new AI software. Nothing we're doing is technology based. We went back to the basics, we are sustainable. We are creating jobs in America, but also making sure that we're sourcing from American forests. I mean, a little touch point that we're very proud of. So our manufacturing facility in Pennsylvania emits less carbon emission in 1 month than it takes to bring one 40-foot high queue over from China. That's something to be proud of, right? Yeah. So now it's a brand we just feel so honored to stand behind. We are truly honored to be doing the work that we're doing. And it's easy to talk about it and brag about Two Mamabees because everything we're doing is right, and we're aligned with all of it. I guess we really got off topic there. To touch on COVID, yes, it hit us hard financially.
So why did you decide to go to China? You didn't know about the Americans, or somebody told you it's good to go to China, or?
So we got introduced to, if you will, our boots on the ground. And now it would have never worked if we had done it the opposite way. We say this to each other all the time because we would have always had in our head, what if, how much better would our margins be? Because does it hit your margins? 100%. But are you also creating a much more quality product? 100%. So maybe it doesn't hit your margins as much as people would think, you are creating longevity in your brand, I think you get one chance at a first impression with your consumer. So if we are sending out a product and they don't like it, they're never going to come back again, and they're not going to tell their friends. And how do we grow from there? How do we establish this brand recognition that we so vehemently want and are committed to creating if we're not providing the product that stands behind our stance on what we want to embody as a brand, right? So craftsmanship is huge for us. And just to give you some quick stats, our Rain 2-story playhouse, which is our largest 2-story playhouse, swing set, if you will, weighs 535 pounds. Yes, Sam?
Yes.
Our competitors of the same exact size weigh 250 pounds. That's based solely on the quality of our wood. You are talking about almost 200 pounds of just solid wood. We are creating heirloom quality pieces. We want you to set up this swing set in your backyard, watch your kids play on it, and then one day watch your grandkids play on it. Another thing that we're really focused on is the entire customer experience. So everything always goes back to we're moms. Okay. We're moms of 8 kids. We've got this in the bag. my oldest about to be 18. Sam's youngest is 3. So we've got like the full spectrum of children. And I think as consumers, a touch point is assembly. Like, it is daunting. You dread it. It sits in the garage for an extra 3 months because you're just like, I do not have the time. Our Rain, that same Rain 2-story playhouse swing set, at the size that it is, takes 1.5 to 2.5 hours to assemble. Our competitors of the same size take 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So just embodying the entire customer experience as well. Those are just certain things that bringing our manufacturing to America has allotted us to do. We work so closely with our manufacturing team that we're able to say, like, this is what needs to be done. How do we reverse engineer this to make sure that this full customer experience is encompassed with everything that we do? So, yeah. So yes, it maybe hit us a bit in like our margins, but it didn't hit us in a way that the longevity and sustainability of the company as a whole hasn't grossly made up for that.
How did you find your Chinese manufacturers?
It was just through a friend of mine who's also in manufacturing, sourced totally different items. They were like accessories, like I don't even know how you would phrase it, but it was through a friend. If I was going to direct anybody else on how to find somebody, I would say there are some great communities that you can join. 2 of which that Sam and I are in and big advocates for. Women in manufacturing is a huge one. Women in toys is another one. You have like these Slack communities where you can kind of run things by each other. And listen, everybody's willing to help. We're willing to help. Email me. That's fine. You can call, you can email us. Like, we are here. Like, we say it all the time. We're like, one day it would be incredible to, I don't know, write a book, do a masterclass, do something where we can help show other women, because, you get like, mentally, you limit yourself when you're in that like mommy zone, I think, or at least we did. Maybe not everybody does, right? But I'm speaking for myself. It's like, you think you can't handle more on your plate, but as it's come, it just like motherhood, it all just like seamlessly continues to build upon itself, and the growth and the learning experience, the mistakes we've made along the way have been invaluable to the growth and trajectory of our brand. So, being able to give back and have conversations like this and, have that open forum where we are a sounding board for other people who are like, hey, I have this Etsy shop too, and I love it, and it's great, and it's successful. Like, how did you take that next leap? Like, we would love to have those conversations with people.
So when you decided you are ready to build your own manufacturer, like you told, like you repainted your competitors, like when it was like, okay, so maybe we can build something ourselves. What happened then?
I think, again, it was really the market told us to do it at that point. So I was working corporate America at the time. We were so busy, I couldn't do both. And I wasn't going to leave Samantha, my best friend, my childhood best friend, by, hey, Sam, you go paint in a warehouse for 16 hours a day and I'll be in my AC'd office with my feet up, so, I think corporate America's always there. Okay. It's not going anywhere. Like, and what's not always there is an opportunity to build out your dreams with your best friend. You get like one chance at it. And it has been like an incredibly wild ride. And we are so blessed, but the market told us people wanted it. I mean, we made almost 1,000 sales in a year. That's insane. Like, so if we could do that, rubbing Vaseline on painted wood, we knew we could do it if we were doing it in a much better way.
I think also we would sit in the warehouse and paint, and we would just dream. Like, we always would look at each other and be like, what if this was our brand?
Yeah.
So I think there's also that we bet on ourselves. And I think that's the biggest piece. You have to bet on yourself and you and your best friend. You just do it.
So how about the finances to build your own brand? Like, how much do you need as the finances, or like? to build your own company? Like, is this storage, like to buy, like to pay?
$250. No, I'm kidding.
So whatever you like made, it's what you invested a lot?
Yeah. Listen, it's not without sacrifice. So Sam owns and operates another business. I own and operate like a high-end luxury Airbnb properties, but pulling a salary, we're always like, we look around the room and I'm like, anybody else pulling a salary yet? Like, when does that happen? When do we get to do that? Like, so we are constantly reinvesting in the business. But everybody, when people around us are like, what, why? We're like, long-term gain people. But, you know, it comes with a lot of struggles. I think one thing we always say is that the struggle is not just our own, it's all of our families. It's our kids. There's sacrifices for every single person that is in our life to watch us on this journey and believe in us on this journey. I could say especially our kids, because time, you know, that's all they want. They just want your time. I mean, it's the essence behind the purpose of our brand itself is like creating time for families, creating spaces for families to be more engaged with their children. Our one-story playhouses all sit almost 6 feet tall inside. That's so parents can comfortably play as well. So we take that into consideration. And, you know, the mission and the purpose behind what we do is like the driving force. But financially speaking, it is a lot of early sacrifice. It is a lot of early late nights. But there's a couple people that have come into our lives and they're just like, have you ever sat down and financially decided how much this business is costing you? No, you want to know why? Because I wouldn't do it if I did. If I found out how many hours a day I put into this business and then reverse calculated it, yeah, I'd probably think that I was insane. But you just have a different mind frame when you're an entrepreneur and you have a different goal set and in mind. And, you know, we're building something that we hope and pray creates generational wealth for our entire families. So these early sacrifices will seem small in comparison to what comes on the back end of it, if you will. As far as like initial investment is concerned, we're extremely lean. Sam and I do a lot of the grunt work still. We have hired out in places where we knew there were better suited individuals to do the job. That's where we spend the money. Marketing, for instance. Sam and I hardly can post on Instagram. Okay. It's like blurry. We like ask our marketing team, you want us to repost? Like, how do we get sound? Like, so we hired out like a whole like a marketing team, and that's their wheelhouse, right? And that's their skill set, and it's not ours. And we've seen tremendous growth since doing it. It's paid for itself and then some. But you know, every single one of those steps is scary. Every single one of them. Even every time Sam and I pay ourselves just a little bit of money, I'm like, oh, should we put it back in? You know, like you just constantly have that thought process in mind about like, would it be better served going somewhere else? So, you know, I think everybody, you know, you have genuine, real and authentic fears all along the way. But gotta take risks. Yeah, hopefully, right? Fingers crossed.
Tell me about your team. Who you have right now?
So the two of us, obviously, we lead the charge hand in hand, and we have an incredible CFO, but fractional CFO. So again, we operate very lean. Most of our team is independent contractors. It doesn't mean that we wouldn't one day bring them on full time, but this is what works best for our company right now. I mean, we haven't even hit year 3 yet. So, and then we have our our manufacturing. So we have our director of manufacturing. He kind of leads it. We have 3 manufacturing facilities now, but we have one like main point of contact who oversees it. We have our incredible director of marketing. Shout out Ashley Stank. We love you.
We love you.
Yes. And we just hired her some help. So Michaela, sweet Michaela is kind of like our paid intern who is working to help the growth and development of our marketing team. And then there's a lot of like people that are involved behind the scenes who, I mean, I'm not going to like sit here and shout out all their names, but like, you know, we have shipping brokers and he's amazing. Like, you know,
He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. We have surrounded ourselves with some really incredibly smart, intelligent, and innovative people who are very good in their fields. And that is how we are able to continue to grow. We have a big box brand management company. If anybody's ever looking to get into big box stores, we got into all the big box stores, but it's how we got into Target. And they've been a tremendous blessing in our lives as well. So, you know, but you know how I found out about them? I watched a podcast. So everybody keep watching podcasts. Yeah.
So it's like a kind of company who help you to get into retailers? Like it's
So big box brand reps, the way the majority of them work, and the one that we focus on working with right now as well, they all, for the most part, were ex-buyers at the big box stores. And then they have like their locations. The way ours works, it's Bluebird Group is who we are repped by. Think of it like if you're famous, you have a manager. If you're a manufacturer with a product line, they manage your product line in the big box store. So, and they've been great. And they, like I said, most of them are ex-buyers, and then they have their headquarters are located. They're very strategic, obviously, directly across the street from the big box brands corporate headquarters. So it just ties in. It's been a really great relationship, and they help us grow and help us develop, and it kind of hold our hand because those deals are scary. You're talking about a lot of money and a lot of inventory and growth and scaling. And because they were ex-buyers, they know what their buyer is expecting. So they can kind of help us see the future before it comes, if you will. I wouldn't do it any other way. I think Sam and I both feel, I mean, we got ourselves into Walmart and still let our big box brand rep us for Walmart because we were like, we don't care. We'd rather have you guys on the team, on board, tell us what the pain points are, tell us what, you know, where our blind spots are at to make sure that we execute this in the best and most effective way possible.
So how will your team grow over time? Like first we were like Etsy store, 2 of you. Like how it like grew by the time? When you hired like marketing team, when you hired like CFO, it was like in the beginning or?
Nope. It was just Samantha and I up until, what do you think, Sam? A year and a half ago?
Yeah.
I mean, there were always some back end people, like we always had a shipping broker. It's kind of necessary. But the other ones came out of, as your company organically grows, you will feel the urge to put people in place. Okay. I think the people who do it wrong are the people that put everybody in place on the front end and don't do any of the work on their own. And maybe I'm wrong about that. Okay. This is just my opinion, but I think if you overexert all of your options early on, you don't even really know what you need them for. If I had hired a CFO day one, I could have put her on a base salary, but I know what I need her for. And it's not a base salary. Not right now, at least, you know, I'm sure in the future it will be a position that is necessary, but right now I can get away with 6 to 10 hours a month, and quarterly meetings. And that's what works for us. But I did all that work early on. So I ran all of our books. I still am very involved in our books. Sam is as well, obviously. run a company, you better be. But learning all of that stuff kind of the hard way, and doing it ourselves, it makes us a lot more efficient. I don't need to call her to pull me a P&L. I know how to do it. Like her to even like run Excel like reports. I mean, Sam knows I'm like I'm a freak in the sheets, if you will. I love Excel. And so I'll like create these Excel sheets. The last one really was, I made this Excel sheet and I was so proud of it. And then we had our quarterly meeting with our CFO, and she like made some changes to it. And it took her 2 seconds that it took me 4 hours. But hey, I spent those 4 hours learning the information that I needed to learn. So invaluable lesson for me. She could do it faster. That is for sure. But yeah, I think all of those kind of things, even marketing, we hired our director of marketing December.
Yeah, I think it hasn't even been a year. Has it been a year?
It definitely hasn't been a year. Yeah, because she sat on a board with me, and I think I just had a year with them. But that was out of necessity as well. We just scaled to a point where we weren't even doing anything with our email list. Like there was no funnel, there was no communication. I don't know how we operated before her. We didn't know what a funnel was. We didn't go to school for marketing. Like, I mean, we didn't go to school for manufacturing either, but yeah, here we are.
Here we are. I think you have to know you want to know every avenue of your business before you start to hire out. Why spend the money and hire out and you don't even know how to do any of it? Like, you want to know how to do every piece, the business.
Otherwise, you're so heavily reliant on the people around you too. I don't want to be as a CEO, as a COO. We want our team to know that they can always come to us. We want them to feel like we are their support system. And even though I think we give them wings to fly a lot, and we definitely rely heavily on them and praise them about all of the amazing things they bring to the table, we also want them to know that like we're capable of adding and contributing to those conversations. Like we know what we're talking about. We can sit in a room with them and still bring something to the board table or the round table, if you will. It's not like they're preaching at us. It's a team effort. I think that creates a healthier environment for a business to grow and scale. So yeah, like I think there's some people that did it really, really right. Like Sam Walton's kids, if you know Walmart, they were like cashiers. Same concept, you should know every single step. Be a janitor, be a janitor. If that's your business, work every single scale. You don't just wake up and then because you were born to this family, you get to be in the role of CEO, because where have you earned the respect, and where have you done the work to understand how to respect all of those people that are helping your business? So it aids in both ways. It makes us respect what they do so much more. And it hopefully, I would think so, makes them respect us that much more too, that we're able to provide insight when it comes to things like that.
Which, when you hired the people, maybe there was some people you hired and you saw like some tremendous growth, like maybe some kind of key people, like
marketing.
Did you wish?
I think I pulled our numbers. We never did any marketing before. Let me start with that. And this isn't to take anything away from our marketing team, because they're incredible. But Sam and I are very strategic. And we rely heavily on our intuition. So year one, we both looked at each other and said, hey, we really didn't have money for marketing dollars anyways, but we'll pretend it was just strategy, that we said, there are retailers out there. And think about it. You trust a retailer, right? Like, actually I had this conversation with somebody the other day. If you go into Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus, you are expecting a luxury experience. You are expecting that every item of clothing you're touching or skin product or whatever, it's high end, it's high quality. That's not because you even know what the brand name is. I mean, maybe you do, but maybe you're being introduced to a new brand name, but because the retail store already has your trust and respect, you're able to purchase the product more confidently. So what Sam and I wanted to do out the gate was create recognition for our brand. There's not too much about what we do that's proprietary, right? So I can't go get a patent on a white playhouse. Wish I could, but I can't. So who's to say that somebody isn't going to come in and try to do the exact same thing that we're doing? They could, but at this point, we're in almost every big box store there is. They have established relationships with us. We nurture those relationships. We care about our buyers. We care about those relationships. So now people would think second about having somebody else come in and swoop in and do what we do. So that was really like the main focus, was just get our name out there, get in retailers. I think we successfully accomplished it. Air five, Sam. And now we can go back a little bit to the drawing board, but at the same time, like, we're always hesitant to do, like, we don't do Facebook ads.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be competing with Target. Look, I don't have Target money, you know, so we'd be competing with Wayfair. I don't have Wayfair money, but nurturing our own customers and creating right now, like, we are launching these accessories. There's a way to retarget the existing customers, even though some of them came from our retailers. If we are able to capture their email for, you know, an additional sale and upsell, and also just keeping brand awareness. That's huge for us, making sure that our customers feel good about their purchase. They're staying abreast on what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we're ethically sourcing our wood, how we're giving back, things like that. So even though I would say, yes, we've seen a spike, 300% growth in sales through our own website after hiring our marketing team. So there's some numbers for you. I don't think that it was the primary focus was more sales. I think the primary focus was more brand awareness, community engagement, and nurturing the customers that our retailers have brought in to our funnel, if you will.
So what's your marketing strategy? Like, you don't do the Facebook ads. Like, what you have Instagram, I know.
We do. We have Instagram. We don't do any ads. We don't do any paid ads. Our marketing strategy is to support our retailers. And they do all the ads, and they have all the big dollars to do so. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's some stuff we do. We do influencer partnerships. You know, that obviously is great for, you know, just like brand awareness and content. You know, what's more authentic than a family playing on their playhouse? And so that's a strategy. That's one aspect of it, but targeted ads aren't really, they're not exactly on our radar right now. It's not our primary focus. Going in store to big box is a primary focus for us. And we can only do that by supporting the sales of our larger retailers to make sure that they feel comfortable stocking us on shelf space, or, you know, like, not so much shelf space, but like Sam's Club. What would you call that, Sam? Floor space?
Yeah. Floor space.
There you go.
So most of your sales come from the retailers, yes, not from your Instagram or your website. It's more from the brick and mortar stores, yeah?
I would say about 75%.
I see.
Come from, and then the other 25 come direct from our own website.
Does it change with the marketing team? Does like this percentage change? Like when your social media maybe got stronger?
I would say it went from 90% retailers to that 75%. But that could also be, though, there is, you know, there's also like the lifetime value of the customer and the fact that now we're getting repurchased products. There was not a lot of expansion at first. Now we're exploring the expansion items because you buy and we want. I mean, they're made, they're designed to be purchased once. They're once and done. You know, you don't have to come back to us for a second swing set unless you know, I don't know, move to a whole different state and don't feel like disassembling and reassembling. Aside from that, you know, it is supposed to be a lifetime value for the customer. So, but finding different niche ways to grow and expand upon that. So, like I said, our accessories, this line of accessories, we're extremely excited about. They're universal. I mean, they could even be universal to other playhouses. If you don't want to purchase a Two Mamabees playhouse, but you want a cute little white picket fence with a mailbox, there you go. Or your girls, you know? So, we're definitely exploring that right now. Nobody else on the market is doing it. So we're always trying to be more innovative, in front of the curve. This new push to work with industry experts. It's not just for Samantha and my own knowledge. We want to be able to take that knowledge and provide it to our consumers as well. And we think that's like a niche market that we're really going to focus on. I think that helps support our big retailers as well.
How's you mentioned that you have some influencers, you work with the influencers. How do you find them?
They find us.
Okay. They need your houses. It's
you know, just so we always say this, right? Our path is blessed, and there is a ton of like imaginary hard work that exists, you know, but our path is very, very blessed. I mean, the hard work is in the innovation. The hard work is in the design. The hard work is in people don't see that day to day. It'd be cool to do like a segment on how we work and design these playhouses. All of our products are like hand created. Like our manufacturing teams are beyond impressive. Like they would put us to shame all day long if they were on this podcast, because what they do and what they create, and we go to them with a vision, and it's not AutoCAD. I hand sketch this stuff. Sam could vouch, worst drawer in the world. And here they take that and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I could do that. I'm like, oh.
And we fax it over. We don't it's not even email. It's faxed.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's old school around here. But I guess, I just think that, you know, we continue to focus on that and expand.
So how do you design your houses? Like which house was first one? How you design the first house, and like how it's your product expanded there? Like,
so originally, right, when we were buying and we would buy them by the semi truckloads, mind you, our competitors' playhouses, and hand painting them. There were add-ins that we just early on put in there, right? Like our window boxes. All of our playhouses came with our window boxes. And so that's like universal across. There's a few pieces of our playhouses that'll always be universal, because we're always trying to touch on a few certain points, like environmental consciousness, motor development, sensory play, and I think that's it, right? Like, so those are like the key touch points that we're always have in our minds. So like all of our playhouses come with play food that can be cut in half and Velcroed back together. That helps with sensory development, even motor skills. And then like the environmental consciousness of our window boxes, that's universal across all of our products. But when we were in those years and we would pick and choose the competitors' playhouses that we purchased to redesign and resell, that was really our market research phase. So we took all the feedback that we got from our customers and kind of reverse designed what they said. A lot of feedback is, it's so small, I can hardly fit in it with my kid. Okay, check. Everything is going to be at least 6 feet interior. There's no way around it. I mean, trust me, our manufacturing team has come back to us a couple of times. Like, I could save you guys this much money if you bring it down 6 inches. Not going to happen. That's not what we stand for. That's not what we're doing. That's not why we're developing it. So, those kind of things. And then, gosh, I wake up, I dream about playhouses. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and send Sam, she silences her phone because I'm annoying, and I'll say like, what do you think about this idea? And then we'll see things, like we're always doing research. But yeah, I don't know. We're just really good at dreaming up like designs in our heads. And then Sam and I feed so well off each other. We have the same design aesthetics. Like even our houses, you could put them next to each other and you would be like, okay, did just one human design this? Like our brains just work the same way. They operate the same way. So we just feed on each other. So we'll like start out with like the concept, like the London. Our concept was that we knew how much we wanted it to cost, right? We knew how much we wanted it to go to market for, like MSRP. And then we knew the components that were must-haves. It had to have a slide. It had to have a swing. It had to have a kitchen. It had to have window boxes. And it had to be obviously 2 stories. And then we kind of just reversed it down from there, right? Like we go back and forth to the drawing board quite a bit. I would say from conception to shipping, the first one to testing, 6 months. 6 months. And then we add things. Like this is the Aviana Gourmet Play Kitchen. All of our products are named after our own kids too, just so you know. So this is my youngest. This kitchen right here, probably 6 months in development, and it has a little chalkboard that you can kind of see. The chalkboard has built-in magnets, so your child can draw like a chicken, and then it magnets to the inside of the stove, so that it looks like a chicken is cooking in the stove. So that's another thing that's like so beneficial of us being able to work hand in hand with our team, because we fly up and we spend time in Pennsylvania when we're designing and developing, and we'll be like, what about this? What if we make this change? Like even the knobs, it was like, how do we make that? What do we want it to look like? Not just a flat knob. And then we were like, what if we just put like a little indent so they can tell what, like degree the oven is on. So we think of everything. The screws that need to be white are white. The screws that need to be black are black, and so, but working so closely and so hand in hand with our team is probably why we're able to make those elements. It also has like a little, you can see it's down right now, but that little shelf goes up. So when it's not in play, space saving for the moms.
Sweet.
So,
You think about the boxes, how it ships. That's a big thing to bring costs down. So, and also like, when you order something and it says you get 6 boxes and then you get 5 and you're like, I can't put it together. I got to wait for the 6 box to come, and now I got to call. So our Rain 2-story Playhouse swing set comes in 2 boxes. The whole set, the Rain 2-story Playhouse, comes in 1 box. The slide is inside the box, which I always think people are like, I'm missing a slide. And I'm like, check the box. Please just open the box. Because you never think that the slide, because it would be, inside the box. So there's that. I mean, it's just consolidating everything. It makes it easier to ship so you don't have any issues. I mean, shipping's a wild, as it is. Things get lost in transit. So
how do you handle like your storage inventory? Like where's your inventory is
at our manufacturing facilities.
And does they ship to you, to Samantha, to Sam, or like you? They do shipping, all shipping.
We drop ship from there, from each manufacturing facility. So everyone has a different piece, and we just drop ship from there. So the Rain 2-story Playhouse comes from one of them that's in Lancaster.
I see. Okay. So what else? What about the future plans? So what's your future plans for now?
We're really focused on we're really excited right now about this whole empowering mission to meet with industry professionals. I think that's next up on our marketing, at least goals, is to kind of roll out this cool little how-to book. Hopefully nobody steals it before we do it. We got to move fast now, Sam.
We do. We really do.
Industry secrets out on this one, but I guess works for the podcast name, right? Okay. And then in stores, we, like Sam touched on before, we used to dream a lot. And we still do. But we used to drive from Target to Target when it got close to the holiday season and just buy them out of every Playhouse they had. And we used to say, when we'd be like walking up and down the aisles with like carts full of Playhouses, like, what if one day we come here and it's a Two Mamabees box? Like, and so, I mean, we would love to see that dream come to fruition. We would love to see that fulfilled. And we had a great call today about a potential move to Canada. So
International.
that's really exciting. Yeah. So expansion, and additional offerings. You want to touch on the Mackay, Sam? You want me to take it?
Yeah.
So with so Mackay is Samantha's son, my godson, who has autism. And like I said, all of our products are named after our own kids. So we haven't designed a Mackay yet. We had it in mind what it would be, but now I think we've decided it'll be quite a bit different. But we want to work with these industry professionals to bring aspects of sensory play that can really be geared towards children that are on the spectrum or needing those extra additional sensory items. And so when we roll out the Mackay, a percentage of the proceeds will go to autism awareness. And so lots of goals, lots of big things, always giving back. We work with some incredible organizations that, if you don't mind, I'll shout out real quick. Deck My Room is one that is very close to our heart. And we've been trying to do a quarter, or even now it seems like monthly. And Deck My Room, we actually go in, Samantha and I go in, and you decorate the hospital room of long-term pediatric cancer patients. Just kind of a way to like brighten what would rather be probably the hardest time in a family's life. We work with the Bumblebee Foundation, which provides playhouses and swing sets to families of children with pediatric cancer, because obviously it isn't really safe for them to go to a swing set, but getting them back outside and active and engaged with their families is, extremely important for their development. And then we work with, we have an allotted amount of give back to an organization called American Forest. So we're always giving more than we take. So for instance, our Rain 2-story playhouse takes roughly 1 tree to manufacture, and we have a promised allotted amount to replant 10 for everyone sold. So just some exciting things, and always trying to expand upon that and see what else is in the industry. Obviously, we've been so blessed by our customers, and it's incredible to become a blessing from their blessings. That's the best part of it all, right? Like that we get to give back, we've been given this platform, we've been given this opportunity by all these people that believed in our product and believed in our innovation. And now we get to full circle and give that back to other people. So it means a lot to us.
Mm-hmm. What kind of tips you can give to somebody who wants to start similar business?
Well, I feel like I gave them a couple, but let me focus on a few that I think would be really helpful. I would say, not to like only talk about being lean, but focus on being lean. You have to. Don't assume that you need everybody to do so much for you. And AI is an extremely beneficial tool. Mm-hmm. You can lean very heavy on it for a lot of content. We are just starting to do that, and I'm like blown away. Every day I'm like, my brain is like, holy cow. So lean heavy into the resources that are there that are economically going to expand your business without financially, like having to invest so much into it. So stay lean as long as possible, really like learn and grow and develop your business on your own, 2 hands in it, like 2 feet, be all in, make sure that you are fully encompassing the brand that you want to create. I think a lot of people say to us, like, guys grow so big so quickly, and to us it all feels organic, because it wasn't like we did all these like huge marketing push, or we spent $100,000 to get in here. So it is organic, right? Authenticity, that's really what it comes down to. Sam and I are authentically ourselves. We are authentically moms, like all day long on top of this, and our brand is authentically everything that we wanted it to be, and probably more. more than we wanted it to be now. Like it has surpassed our dreams and just allows us to continue to dream bigger. But I think that authenticity plays a big role. I think a lot of these big brands become really sterile and they don't connect with their consumers anymore. And so stay connected, you know, like if you're a family run business, you know, play into that. Well, I read something and it resonated to me. So like Amazon doesn't sell products, it sells convenience, right? Nike doesn't sell shoes, it sells like a lifestyle or athleticism, if you will, you know, and so on and so forth. Like Two Mamabees, our goal, right, is that we don't sell playhouses, we sell purposeful play. We sell meaningful experiences for families.
Yeah.
So lean heavy into the authenticity of what your goal is and what your purpose is. And hopefully that mission is able to help drive your sales forward.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sam?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect. It's so true. It really is.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for the podcast. Thank you so much for your story. I think it was very helpful for everybody who want to start similar business or who want to do something with retailers. I think it was a lot of like tips for people who like to start something and just start. I think you just need to do it.
Yeah. I think you just need to do it. Drown out the noise and just go for it. That's the big, you know, you won't know unless you try.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you.
If you need help with your business, you can find my contact details in the description below.